What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda here on Anfield Agenda. I am going to take you through a story that caught my eye today and made me smile because it proves exactly what we all thought. What is it? Well, bear with me in a second and we will go through it. Do, of course, drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button for me if you haven't done so already, and of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And I am very, very much looking forward to reading the whataboutery and the excuse making from non-Liverpool fans in the comment section of this video. Genuinely, I'm rubbing my hands together. I can't wait to see what you come up with. So, what is it that I'm waffling on about? What is it that caught my eye that made me laugh so much? Well, you know that flop of ours? You know Darwin Nunez, who, depending on who you're listening to, cost £100 million when he absolutely did not. Maximum, he costs €100 million, about £85 million. Now, what a lot of people fail to mention is that Liverpool will only pay that full amount of £85 million, which is a significant amount of money, no arguments there, but Liverpool will only pay that if Darwin manages to achieve all of the targets and trigger all of the clauses in the deal, which would mean that he's a success, right? So, no problems with that so far. We still together? Still with me? Right. But he's a flop, Craig. He's a flop. People are telling me he's a flop. People keep coming up to me and going, he's a waste of space, he's a flop, he's caught offside too much. Absolute waste of money from Liverpool Football Club. Hang your heads in shame, lad. You've absolutely shit the bed on this one. Well, here's a stat that might have you thinking a little bit, and maybe just lets people know that there is an anti-Liverpool bias out there. Maybe not so much in the media, but certainly amongst opposition fans. You know, Gabby Jesus, great signing for Arsenal. I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to argue against that. I think it's a fantastic bit of business. But he's the signing of the summer. And our boy, Darwin Nunez, well, he's an absolute flop. Problem with that is, though, Darwin scored 6 goals for Liverpool so far. And Gabriel Jesus has scored 5. But, Craig, they might not have played the same amount of minutes. Maybe there's differentials there. Maybe Arsenal had harder games. They didn't have harder games, but when it comes to the minutes, well, this is where the anti-Liverpool bias really rears its head. Darwin's played 440 fewer minutes than Gabriel Jesus. So that doesn't compute with me, my friends. How can Gabby Jesus be the signing of the summer and Darwin Nunez be a flop? It's almost like the geniuses on Twitter don't know what they're talking about and love to just twist agendas to suit their narrative, which is Liverpool player bad, opposition player good. Now, one of my favourite things to do when Liverpool sign a player is to have a little look around on social media and see what fans that I know wanted the player that we've signed suddenly have to say about them. I know you've all seen these as well. You've gone onto YouTube, you've looked around, you've seen videos that say things like, welcome to Manchester United, Fabinho, welcome to Newcastle, Darwin, whatever it might be. But then all of a sudden amnesia kicks in when Liverpool signed the player. They're terrible. The player that was going to be a superstar and a global icon all of a sudden becomes awful when Liverpool signs them. These are the things that I love about football fans. And I'm not here to slag off anybody. I don't want to point the finger and say you're all wrong and I'm right. I just want to remind everybody that we're all hypocrites. Every single one of us are hypocrites when it comes to football. We all twist narratives to work for whatever reason we want it to work. And I absolutely 100% include myself in that. So where am I going with this? I'd just like people to have a little think. Because Darwin Nunez has arrived in a new league, in a new country, doesn't speak the language, so much, and that's before we talk about the price tag on top of it, which yes, is significant, and yes, does add added pressure to it. But if you've watched any of Darwin Nunez this season, if you paid attention to this kid playing football, you will know he is no shrinking violet, he doesn't let things bother him, and he gets his head down and gets on with it. I can't defend the red card. The red card was petulant. He will learn a lesson from that and he will move on. But outside of that, I just wish people would start to give him a break. Because if you watch him, you will see the movement is there. The tenacity is there. Yes, he isn't the finished product. We knew that when we signed him. But I tell you what, if you're going to call him a flop and Gabriel Jesus signing of the season, and again, I want to say, I think Gabriel Jesus is an excellent football player and an excellent signing for Arsenal. Very good business, no problems with it. But I just wish people would just be a bit more understanding that these are human beings that move to new countries, to learn new languages, to play with new teammates. There's a lot going on, which is why I always say I like to give players one full season before I start to label them as a flop or as not working out. And I'd done that with Jadon Sancho last year for Manchester United fans. Watch any video I spoke about with Jadon Sancho. I said the kid's too good of a footballer not to come good, but right now he's not doing it. And he's still not doing it at United, but I still think he'll come good. So where am I going with all of this? How can I tie it all together? I just wish that people would look at things in actual perspective and not with their own biases. Fair enough if you don't rate Darwin Nunez, but you cannot call him the flop signing of the summer and anybody else like Gabriel Jesus the star signing of the summer when he scored more goals in 440 less minutes. So if you didn't think that you or anybody else has a bias against Liverpool, this for me is just another example of it. And I've done it, you've done it, we've all done it. We're all hypocrites. We're all beautiful football-loving hypocrites. So maybe just pause for a second next time. Now, we do have a game coming up at the weekend, and I'm hoping that Thiago is going to be fit for it. I've just recorded my Leeds United preview. That will be going up tomorrow. You should be watching this hopefully on Thursday evening. That video will be going out tomorrow. So I'm very interested to see what you guys think ahead of that team selection. I liked Darwin on that left side last night. I thought, I know I'll be with Paddy on this. Initially I thought, no, don't want their striker out left. But he's more left leaning. He's more natural to be able to drift into that channel, to close down players, to chase, to block, and to set up Mohamed Salah centrally as well, where I think Mo can do most damage. So I'm intrigued to see what Jurgen Klopp goes with. For me, I just want to again let people know that Jurgen Klopp was handed a fine today. Remember that incident against Manchester City when he was sent off? He hasn't received a touchline ban. Jurgen Klopp has been given, if my memory is correct, a £30,000 fine, which, you know, doesn't excuse his behaviour. I understand why Jurgen Klopp lost the plot. I said, go and watch it. I think the manager should accept whatever punishment comes his way, because you can't berate the officials like he did, even though Bernardo Silva looked like he was trying to be breastfed from Mohamed Salah and hanging off around his neck, and the referee and the linesman missed it. We move on. So again, loads of people were rushing to judgment on Kloppo to say this, that and the other. He's taken his punishment, 30 grand fine. No ban. Jordan Henderson, I mentioned this last night, I'm sure you guys are aware of it as well, has no case to answer. Let me say that again. Jordan Henderson has no case to answer. None of the players on the pitch heard anything. The lip reading experts couldn't hear anything. And the investigation from the FA found that Jordan Henderson did nothing wrong and has no case to answer. So again, I'd ask all those people that were mocking our captain, that were saying he was racist, that were making all these accusations at him, to hopefully come out of the woodwork and admit that you were wrong, because in this instance, as we suspected, Hendo did nothing wrong and he's got no case to answer. That's my take on it. I don't like seeing good people having their reputation besmirched, and Jordan Henderson, as we all know, has been at the forefront of fighting for acceptance, rights, tolerance, understanding, love, everything that you want, along with Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling and many other English players who have stood up and shown their true colours. Hendo's one of the good ones, and I'm glad to see that the FA's decided he's got no case to answer. That pretty much brings me to an end of this video. As I said, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you guys say in the comment section. Darwin Nunez, flop of the summer or signing of the summer? Over to you.